Twitch. Looks like we're actually live on Twitch. We got Luca
live on Twitch.
in the Twitch.
Yep, we are. Real quick, we are live on Twitch. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
And we are. We're good on the Twitter, so I'm going to be paying close attention to the lovely Twitter feed that's going on right now. Or no, you wanted to do Twitter, right?
No, I'm on Twitch.
Okay, and I will be paying attention. Dean the Devil over on Twitch says, hey, oh yeah, the kid has joined. Folks, thank you for being so flexible with YouTube deciding to tell us to go fuck ourselves today.
Now, here's a question before we get started.
I have an answer before you get started.
So this may become a new thing if this actually works out well.
Yeah,
Streaming
if you guys
to
like this.
Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all at the same time.
Exactly.
Giving you guys multiple different ways to watch. So hopefully you guys like this.
This may be a thing. This may be a thing.
All right. So Smackdown 1000, everybody. It was a episode of Smackdown, to be honest.
Yeah, it was an episode of Smackdown that was also kind of cool.
I guess.
It was like Smackdown Las Vegas.
Sure, we'll go with that.
You remember that one? You don't remember Smackdown Las Vegas? Or was it like Sin City or whatever?
Oh, there you go. Now you say Sin City. I remember now. Anyways.
Yeah. The Festival of Friendship.
That was Raw.
No, really?
Festival of Friendship was on Raw because Owens and Jericho were on Raw. Owens had just lost the Universal title to Goldberg.
Well, luckily this isn't a Raw show. This is a SmackDown live show. So let's talk about
SmackDown 1000 starts. So SmackDown 1000 starts off with a cool video package recapping all the different moments from SmackDown's history. They showed Stephanie winning the Women's Championship. They showed clips from the first SmackDown. They showed the stuff with Big Show and the Big Boss Man at Big Show's dad's funeral. They showed stuff with Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Batista. And then they go into the building and they say they're sold out, which they did look pretty packed. 15,700 people-ish.
Yeah, it did look like nice and crowded.
And we started off with Truth TV. And the first thing Corey Graves goes is, or Byron Sack knows, Tom Phillips says, we're here with Truth TV. And Byron goes, and they were canceled after their first episode. So then why are they doing it again if they were quote-unquote canceled?
YOLO. So
then they started off, and Truth is like, we've got a rich history over the years of Truth TV. And Carmella goes, Truth, we've only had one episode, and we were canceled. So then why the hell are you doing another one if you were canceled?
I think that's the running joke.
I guess. So she hands, first, they do a dance break. Carmella does the floss and some other dances. 7-second dance break. Then she hands some cue cards to Truth. He takes off his sunglasses and puts on his reading glasses. And he goes, our first guest needs no introduction. And he looks over at Carmella and he's like, no introduction? What? Huh? He goes, needs no introduction. She goes, how about we do another dance break? So they do another dance break. She does the floss again and some other dances. And he goes, well, I guess if our guest doesn't need any introduction, and then Stephanie McMahon comes out. So Stephanie comes out, and the crowd is just thunderous boos. They hated her. Stephanie points out that she was the first general manager of SmackDown. She asked Truth to ask his first question, and then Shane interrupts. Shane McMahon comes out to thunderous cheers. Crowd
welcome
pop huge. And I think it was Tom was like, welcome back, the commissioner of SmackDown. And Corey Graves was like, yeah, he hasn't been here in like 8 months. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
I want a job where I can show up, where I don't have to show up for like 8 months, walk back in, and everyone's like, hey, welcome back.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. It's so weird to me, man.
All right, so.
Oh, my
God. Shane comes out and he, huh?
Nothing. Continue. I'm going to try something here.
Shane comes out and he panders to the crowd.
We're live on YouTube. I'm on the YouTube.
Is it working?
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. We forgot to change the name of the show on the YouTube, but we can do it later.
So Shane panders to the crowd. He's like, hey, what's up, DC? SmackDown 1000, the A show. And Stephanie's like, no. It might be a show, but it's not the A show. So,
Yes, it is.
eh. So they're starting to bicker, and then all of a sudden, a Truth TV chant starts to break out. And Stephanie's like, have fun with that. She's basically like, it's never going to happen again. I was like, ooh. So, before Stephanie and Shane can bicker anymore, Vince comes out.
And let me tell you something. One thing that I love about the silliness of pro wrestling, you get a lot of dumb stuff sometimes. You get a lot of stuff that's a little questionable. But one thing that I'll always hold near and dear to my heart is a crowd of 17,000 people chanting, "No chance in hell!" It's incredible. The fans and the atmosphere that they had there was just awesome tonight. Shout out to the 100+ people that apparently hacked into YouTube systems to get it to work.
Hey, I think we're live on YouTube, so it's all good.
We are live on YouTube. I'm looking at the chat on YouTube.
Oh, awesome.
We still have to change the name. It's from the Super.
I'm doing that now.
Cool.
Anyways,
so continue on. Vince does come out.
Vince does come out, and then what does he do? He says, "People don't want to see you guys fighting and bickering. How about a dance break?"
I want you to think, like 4 years ago, if you thought
he danced, just so you know, he danced.
If you thought R-Truth, Carmella, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Vince McMahon were all in a ring together, and Vince says, "Let's have a dance break," and then dances, you would have told me that I'm starting to do drugs. That was kind of like the oh wow, this is going to be a really fun show type feel. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I liked it.
So basically, they do the dance break, and then literally 3 seconds into it, they start talking about what's going to happen later on in the show. Mm-hmm. The first match comes, and it is the WWE Champion AJ Styles taking on Daniel Bryan. Or no, my bad.
No, tag. Yeah. That's for Saudi Arabia.
Sorry, I was trying to fix the YouTube. Anyways, we're good now. So it was WWE Champion AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan teaming up to take on the team of the Usos.
Thank you, Luke Might, for the $1.99. What's next for Rey Mysterio after Crown Jewel? We'll let you know later.
I know he's going to do a Starrcade.
What?
Challenge Nakamura for the title.
Nakamura, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let's continue.
All right, YouTube's working good now. So,
yeah.
Match starts off. Styles is halfway down the ramp when Bryan's music hits. They both come down. Jimmy rocked Bryan with a chop in the corner early. Bryan fought back and used a dragon screw whip. Styles continued to target the leg. The Usos gained an advantage with a double kick in the corner. Styles caught Jimmy with a calf crusher, and Bryan applied the yes lock on Jay. You would have thought this was the end, but it wasn't, as Jimmy was able to make it to the ropes. After a commercial break, both Styles and Jay were down. Bryan got the hot tag and ran wild. He hit a suicide dive and a missile dropkick, but Bryan then used the yes kicks for a near fall. Bryan tried to hit Jay, but he moved and punched Styles instead. Jay then hit a super kick on Bryan, but he moved and hit Styles. Usos would then double super kick Daniel Bryan, get the pin. Styles seemed very unhappy with old Daniel Bryan.
It's just a way to make us care about that match coming.
Exactly.
In which, I mean, granted, I do care because those are probably two of the best wrestlers that WWE has right now. So I do care just because I think it'll be a very good athletic match, but I think they're trying to get us to care in a storied sense, for lack of a better term.
Exactly. So with that, we see Paige in her office with Vicky Guerrero.
Yes.
And I swear to God, if you've ever been to a show where Vicky was the GM and she yelled, "Excuse me!" that hurts your ears, literally.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was really annoying. Everything about that whole "excuse me" thing was just like, God.
But it worked to get her heel heat.
Yeah, it did, but it also gave, for me personally, gave her the heat of, I'm turning the TV off and walking away.
I mean, I totally get what you're saying.
I just didn't want to watch. There's a difference of heel heat, and I don't want to watch this.
Exactly. No, I totally get you.
Let's continue on here with SmackDown Live.
So after that,
1000.
Evolution comes out. Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Batista. Tom Phillips
Real quick,
What's up?
thank you, Nicholas, for the $2. Guess what Nicholas said? Take a guess on what Nicholas said.
Nards.
Nards. Thank you, Nicholas.
So, Tom Phillips pointed out that this is the first time Evolution's all actually been together on an episode of SmackDown. So why are they on SmackDown 1000 as an attraction? That's my question.
I don't know.
Crowd broke out into Batista chants early. Triple H and Flair spoke positively about each other and the fans. Triple H, never mind. Orton noted that Triple H has been running things. Flair lives vicarious through his daughter, and Batista spends most of his time in the makeup chair. Orton says that he's here dominating the WWE week in, week out. Batista said that he's nervous. I'm going to ignore Orton's comment. He pointed out that they're in his hometown. When he was younger and a poor, broke young man, he was a bouncer about 3 miles down the road. Thanked the fans, said he loved them. He never cared when they called him Bootista or Bluetista. All he wanted was to entertain the fans. One reason that
he did, man.
Oh, yeah. He then said, everybody that knows me knows that I don't want to be here talking on the mic. And then goes for like 5 to 10 more minutes. He said one reason he is back was to reunite Evolution. He said Evolution is a special group. He said when he first saw Orton in OVW, he knew he was going to be something special. He said Orton had more talent in his pinky than anyone else that steps into that ring. He said there's nothing he can say about Ric Flair that people don't already know. Then, he knew there are a few stories he can't really share. And then Batista told Flair, keep it in your pants. Triple H couldn't contain himself. Orton couldn't contain yourself. And somebody,
it was funny.
I don't know who it was. They're like, in the show here.
Thank you, Kristen McNutt, for the $2. She just called you a jabroni.
Jabroni.
Yeah, jabroni. Thank you, Kristen. Love you.
So Batista starts talking about Triple H. He noted that he's the greatest. And there's nothing he can't do. And there's nothing he hasn't done for this business except beat Batista. Crowd erupted as the two started to go face to face.
Well, no, I mean, Batista did say he would really like to return to do a WrestleMania match against
He said if he could choose one match as his final match ever, it would be a Mania match against Hunter.
I would love to see that happen.
So Orton and Flair calmed them down. They hugged it out, smiled. The smile had a little bit of shade in that smile. So then we get a World Cup qualifying match. World Cup to crown, no, WWE World Cup to crown the best in the world. Because that's what it is. It should literally say World Cup, best in the world. Crown the best in the world. So we get Raw General Manager. Well, actually, they call them vacationing Raw General Manager Kurt Angle on commentary. Match was very short as Rusev was on fire early and then Aiden English came down, distracted him. Miz rolled him up. 1, 2, 3, boom. Miz is in the World Cup. After the match, Lana gave English a low blow. Rusev beat him down at ringside, all around ringside, and threw him over the announce table. Backstage, we see Edge with Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins is showing his cell phone, showing that, hey, I got a call from Ryder. Should I answer it? And Edge is kind of gesturing like, no, don't answer it. Now, if you don't get that joke, it stems from the Edge and Christian podcast. Zack Ryder keeps telling them, I want to be on your show. So they called Ryder one week and was like, we tried to call Ryder, get him on the show. He wouldn't answer his phone. Ever since then, Zack Ryder keeps calling both Edge and Christian, hey, when can I be on the show? Leaving them voice messages and whatnot, but they won't respond. They're like, hey, you couldn't answer your phone when we called you. We're not going to answer when you call us.
Fair enough.
So that's what that joke was all about. Then they did it. They made it the joke even further on the actual podcast when they brought Ryder's real-life girlfriend, Chelsea Green, on for an episode. So Edge comes down to host a special edition of The Cutting Edge. He said that he felt that he had to be here, not just because it's SmackDown 1000, because he saw something that he felt that he needed to help out. He was going to be like, what did he call himself? Not the moderator. Like, he basically said he's going to try to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
He talked about all the different things that he's done on SmackDown, like cashing in Money in the Bank on The Undertaker, marrying and divorcing Vicky Guerrero, and a no disqualification match against Eddie Guerrero that people still talk about to this day.
Real quick before you continue, $5 for Chris McNutt. Why is WWE not announcing where Crown Jewel or Evolution is taking place? Is it weird or what? It's just at this point they're probably just covering their grounds not to do it. But
because they don't want to say Crown Jewel's in Saudi Arabia right now, and with that, if they say where Evolution is, that's just going to make things sound weird. So they're just saying, hey, these two shows are coming in the next 3 weeks. So Edge calls down Becky Lynch, SmackDown Live Women's Champion. He has Becky take a seat, and then he says, you know, Becky, I see a lot in you. I myself was never supposed to be a main eventer, was never supposed to be a headliner, was never supposed to be on the posters. Becky goes, well, I'm glad you see a lot in me because you're one of the ones that I've emulated my career after. Edge noted that Lynch chose a championship over friendship, and that's a big mistake. He said that he still sees a good person in her. He said it ends with Lynch at home looking at her championships and reminiscing all alone. Mm-hmm. Lynch said that he's right, and she doesn't like herself. She loves herself. Fans popped big for that one. She told Edge to get out of her ring and not to break his neck on his way out. Good line. Got a huge reaction from the crowd. Flair then came out. Crowd started chanting for Becky. Charlotte was like, Charlotte goes, all you want to do is just walk away with your championship. You did it at Super Showdown. You tried to do it last week before I threw you into that LED board. That's exactly how she said it. She's like, when I speared you into the LED board. And she goes, but that's not going to compare to what I do to you. And as she's dropping the microphone, you hear her say, now. And she spears Becky. Edge gets out of there. Producers come down. Referees come down, try to break up this brawl. And fans seem to really love Becky. I thought it was a good segment. segment.
Shocking. Becky over with the fans. That's incredible.
So then we see Rey Mysterio backstage. He's walking around, and he finds his old buddy Jeff Hardy. They give each other a big handshake and a high five as Rey Mysterio will be taking on Shinsuke Nakamura later for a shot to be in the World Cup. Should we call it the American Cup?
Yeah, basically.
So,
American-born Cup.
In a shocking segment, we had The New Day defending the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships against The Bar. Jerry Lawler and Booker T were on commentary. They were at the quote-unquote New Day's Booty-O commentary desk. Bar had the early advantage and isolated Xavier Woods. Big E got the hot tag and ran wild. Big E dropped Cesaro on the top of his head for a near fall. Looked kind of scary. Sheamus missed a bro kick, and Big E hit a spear on the floor, or to the floor. Woods hit a Shining Wizard for a near fall. Big E then hit the big ending on Sheamus, but he had made the blind tag, so Cesaro was actually the legal man. Cesaro then would run in and get a near fall. Sheamus and Cesaro gave Big E a powerbomb uppercut combo. Cesaro hit Kingston from behind. Woods tried to hit a dive, but the Bar caught him and tossed him into the barricade. Bar cleared the orange announce table, the Booty-O announce table, and then the Big Show's music hits, and this is where things got a little weird. So Big Show comes down.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking like, why is the Big Show coming out here? I mean, commentary's confused. All the guys in the ring are confused. They try to keep going with the match. And Big Show walks down to ringside. And the Bar, get out of there. Like Sheamus or Cesaro's like, got his hands up. I don't want any of this, bro. What are you doing? And he grabs Kofi. Like, he helps Kofi up. And you're like, nice, Big Show. Gonna do a good deed. I thought, he was going to help up Kofi. New Day was going to win, and then he was going to, like, dance with the New Day or something. No. He takes Kofi, and he choke slams him through the announce table. This distracts Big E. Big E is both pissed off and confused at the same time. He stands up, gets brogue kicked in the face, gets pinned 1, 2, 3. The Bar are the new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. Big Show.
Big Bar. The
Big
Bar
Show.
Show.
Big Show then brings the titles into the ring and hands them to the Bar. The Bar then hand them to the Big Show. Big Show holds them up in the air as they do their NWO-esque finger point. Yeah. And like Nick said, according to Sheamus, was it? He called them the Bar Show?
The Bar Show.
Got new tag team champions.
Marcus Ryan says the Big Show will probably turn face again in a few weeks.
New tag team champions, and Big Show turned heel for the 5,677th time. Or maybe was it the 1,000th time, since it was SmackDown 1,000?
The Bar are 5-time champions.
Yep. 5-time. So then we got a video package, or a special cell phone video from John Cena. Looks like he shot this at Super Showdown in the back. He noted that SmackDown is what helped make John Cena. There would be no John Cena if there wasn't for SmackDown. He said that he came down his first night on SmackDown, he slapped Kurt Angle. He regrets slapping Kurt Angle, but he doesn't regret the ruthless aggression. He said that there's been a lot of things that have changed in his career. He went from a man with matching boots and tights slapping Kurt Angle to then the Thugonomics, then having a real-life rap album, then being the...
Fun fact, I own that album. It is in its case.
Interesting.
I still own it.
Then he said that he became a 16-time world champion, and now SmackDown's got 1,000 episodes. We then see a tweet from The Rock. Rock did not appear in a video package or live at the show, as he is in London filming his Fast and the Furious spinoff, Hobbs and Shaw. I don't have the tweet in front of me, so I don't know exactly what it said. But he basically said, congratulations, WWE, on 1,000 episodes of SmackDown.
I'll tell you what it said. I'll pull it up right now. So he quote tweeted the SmackDown 1000 airs tonight and says, huge hashtag SmackDown 1000. Congrats to my WWE family. Fun fact, in 1998, I said to Vince McMahon, quote, I'm going to use the word SmackDown tonight in my promo. He said, what's that mean? I said, it means I'm going to whoop some ass. He belly laughed and said, say it. The rest was history. Hashtag if you smell. Yeah.
All right. So then we get the main event match. It was Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura in a qualifier for the World Cup to crown the best in the world. Nakamura started off with stiff kicks and stiff knees. Mysterio fought back with his own strikes. Nakamura applied a front face lock and slowed the pace down. Mysterio attempted the 619, but Nakamura avoided it and moved out of the way. Mysterio hit a sliding dive underneath the bottom rope into a splash on the floor. Mysterio then gave Nakamura a Hurricane Rana off the top for a near fall. He went for a springboard splash, but Nakamura caught him with a knee. He followed it up with a second knee for a 2 count. Nakamura attempted the Kinshasa, but Mysterio reversed it into a pinfall attempt. Nakamura attempted a second Kinshasa, but Mysterio ducked. The finish of the match came when Mysterio hit the 619 to win the match and qualify for the World Cup full of Americans.
I mean, I guess.
As Rey Mysterio was trying to celebrate, The Undertaker's music hits with about 4 minutes left in the show. Undertaker comes down to the ring, gets on the microphone, and he says, I have 3 words for DX. Rest in peace. Walks off, SmackDown 1000, in the books. I bet you them people in DC were pissed. You're gonna advertise the Undertaker, and he's there for 3.5, 4 minutes.
He literally just said "rip" and dipped. Like, that's incredible.
Very true.
That's ballsy. Interesting episode. Fun episode. It had some cool moments in there tonight for SmackDown 1000. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Nick. You can follow me on Twitter at PWU_Armstrong. Follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited. Facebook /Pro Wrestling ULTD. Instagram, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Check out the good folks over at Fightful, John, Sean, and Melissa, and many, many more. On Twitter at Fightful Online or Fightful.com, their main website. Tim, where can they find you?
You can find me almost everywhere at Timmy Buddy. It'll be everywhere once PlayStation lets me change my name.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in with this kind of frantic show tonight. I know it was a little weird in the beginning, but I'm glad we got smoothed out.
Hey, it wasn't our issues this time.
We will see you guys tomorrow for the Wednesday show. I hope you all have great great days and nights, I guess. See you later,
Have
folks.
a good one.